Diogo Dalot's future is currently being discussed at Manchester United. Jason Wilcox involved in these discussions as there is some interest in Dalot ahead of 2026. Real Madrid being one of those clubs. This isn't the first time Dalot has been linked to Madrid. And now they're having conversations of, do we sell Dalot? Do we let Dalot go? There's actually quite a bit of interest there. Or do we keep him? They like Dalot as a player, but maybe he doesn't fully suit the system. So we're going to talk about all of that, and a tier 1 source has given an update on that. We could potentially be missing 6 players for the Bournemouth game. We'll talk about Amorim's comments on those missing players. We've got updates on Maino and Xerxes, the latest on that. Sully has given us an update on Ligt's injury and when he's expected back. And obviously Manchester United have been linked to a young midfield transfer signing in Edison Castillo, and we will talk about the latest on that. So, hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute Manchester United news, transfer news, and update roundup show, where I'm going to round up all the latest Manchester United news into 10 minutes for you guys. So if you are new and want to stay up to date on daily Manchester United news, feel free to subscribe. If you enjoy the video, feel free to hit that like button, and let's get into it. So we'll start with the injury update, and then I want to get into the Dalot stories, because there's like 4 stories on Dalot today. There's actually quite a lot. But Ruben Amorim says we don't know if Mazraoui and Mbeumo and Ahmed can play against Bournemouth, which is awful considering our Bournemouth game is in 2 days, and we're literally not going to know until like the day before if we can play with these players or not, which is an absolute joke. And because the Premier League moved our fixture from Saturday to Monday, we might not be able to play with those 3 players, whereas on the Saturday, we probably would have been able to, or at least been able to play with 2 of them. Like, I feel like the whole situation of Man United's fixtures constantly being moved to Monday so they can make more money out of us is an absolute joke, because you got to think of the fans there going to the stadium on a Monday night after work, not getting back till late, weeks in a row, give them a game at a weekend. Absolute joke, but that's them making money out of United. Sesko is a doubt, the Ligt and Maguire are out. Mazraoui and Mbeumo and Ahmed could all be out. But we don't know until tonight if Mazraoui and Mbeumo and Ahmed all be out. So it's a pain, and it's not fair on Amorim when it comes to planning, but we could be without those 6 players. Amorim was asked about it, and he said, I'm not knowing. He said it's frustrating, but at the same time, nobody knows who's going to play, so it's a good thing. We have players to cope with everything. With a long week, you can see a lot of things and work on stuff to prepare for any situation, is what he said. Now, if those players are out, I think we'll see Aiden Heaven central centre-back. I think we'll see Yoro right centre-back. I think we'll probably see Shaw left centre-back for now, with Dorgu left wing-back and Dalot right wing-back. But I think potentially we could see Luke Shaw get a cameo at left wing-back and Ligt come in at left centre-back. I think it still will be a Maino Bruno pivot. And I think potentially it's going to be Mount left 10, Xerxes right, so Cunha right 10, Sesko up top if Sesko is fit. If Sesko isn't fit, I think Xerxes there. Potentially, we see Casemiro Maino, and we actually see Bruno Fernandes go in the 10. And I would like to see Bruno Fernandes go into the 10. Maybe we see Shea Lacey. Who knows? But let's talk about Dalot. Diogo Dalot's future is being discussed internally by Manchester United. The club has been made aware of possible interest in the Portuguese midfielder, was said by Team Talk. Team Talk went into more detail about this. Real Madrid are tracking Dalot ahead of a 2026 potential move. United are discussing Dalot's long-term future internally. Wilcox is involved in those discussions. Madrid value Dalot's versatility, right back, right wing back, left wing back, especially with Carvajal aging and Trent just getting injured and not being great. Trent has the crossing ability that Dalot will never have, but Dalot has attributes that Trent doesn't have in terms of defensiveness. Like, Atletico and Bayern also admirers, and United are happy with Dalot's performances, but aware his contract will require a pay rise. Dalot's current deal runs out in 2028 with 1-year option. His camp have approached United about talks in 2026. So this is one of about 4 stories on Dalot. So I want to get to the other stories in a second. First things first, I think Dalot is a good player, a good footballer, and good fundamentals to be a good footballer. He's not a good wing back. In a back 4, I think he's a solid player. I think he's a player you like that can play right back, left back, has a good fitness record, can do a job. He's not the star, but he's a solid player. Someone that I think all top teams would like in their squad. Maybe like Real Madrid, they've got Alvaro, they've got Trent. But Dalot, because he can play right back, left back, is the perfect third choice fullback for them. I get why they are in for him. Would I say United should be happy with Dalot's performances? If we're going off the last 3 games, I think Dalot's been fantastic. But if we're going off all the games before the last 3 games this season, I thought Dalot was pretty shocking. I mean, Dalot had that injury where he came back and it was the Brentford game, and he had a couple other games after Brentford where I felt like Dalot was playing against us for about 5-6 games. And then Dalot has been really good for the last 3 games. But look, Dalot at fullback was player of the season one of the years at Man United. Dalot at wingback, I don't particularly like it, but I think he has been good the last 3 games. But I get why top clubs are actually interested in Dalot because he's got good physical and technical traits. He just can't cross the ball particularly well. But I do think, okay, well, his contract's up in 2 years. Is he linking himself to Real Madrid to try and get more money out of Man United and try and get a new contract out of Man United? Or is there interest from Real Madrid and buy him? Now, Andy Mitten said that United don't want to sell Dalot, which is interesting because personally for me, if someone offered us 30 million for Dalot in the summer, I'd say, well, we play with wing-backs, not full-backs. I would sell. I get if we change manager and we go back to a back 4 why we wouldn't sell Dalot in the summer because he's, I guess, like a good leader. He's got good personality, good mentality. But if we're going to continue playing this wing-back system, then I don't know. I wouldn't turn down 30 million for Dalot in the summer. I'd say, yeah. United have no plans to sell Dalot. Club believe he would attract significant interest if made available. Seen as a reliable, consistent player who avoids suspensions, United view him as a confidence player who benefits from fan support and he's currently playing out of position in an inconsistent team during a rebuild. I agree he's not a left wing back and he's in an inconsistent side. I think confidence definitely helps him. I mean, with Dalot, his crossing is poor. I don't think he's a wing back, and if we're going to keep hammering and play with him as a wing back for the rest of his career at United, I wouldn't bother. I would sell him if there's interest. I think, as I said, decent player, good physically, good technically, good attributes. I think, look, he's a leader. He's known as a good personality in the dressing room. He's known to be, work hard, and I think that's great traits to have in a player. I think he's got loads of fantastic traits when it comes to personality and work rate. But if I was Man United, I'd sell Dalot. I would. I know he's been good the last few games, but if I was Man United, I would sell Dalot. Unless we have a new manager come in, we play about 4, and Dalot is the perfect guy for that manager. Andy Mitten did say that one source at United on Dalot said this: I would be happy to call him my son. He's an extremely bright guy, part of the leadership group, which tells you what we think about him. He really cares about this club. He's an amazing team, and we've had players in our dressing room who have not been amazing players, team players, sorry. You have to have a blend. We can't all have the same characters. He's a robust individual who gives maximum in every game. So one source inside Man United said he's in the leadership squad. We've had people in this dressing room that aren't amazing team players, but Dalot's an amazing team player. He really cares about the club, which I don't doubt. And maybe that's why United don't want to sell him, because of like the personality side. He's one of Amorim's favourites. But for me, if you're going to get 30 million for Dalot in the summer, and I don't know where the 30 million figure came from, it might be 20 million, but I do consider it. Now, talking of exits, there's some updates on Maino and Xerxes. Manchester United are aware of interest from AS Roma for Xerxes and from Napoli for Maino. However, there's been no green light from the club for any exits due to AFCON. We've been told millions of times now, basically, if we're going to do business in the January transfer window, it's going to be in the last 2 weeks of January. We're going to ignore the first 2 weeks of January. 1, that gives Man United an excuse to do less business and not do business. 2, that's because they want to see with injuries in AFCON where people are at. They don't want anyone going until we get the players back from AFCON. Napoli hope for the possibility to get Kobe as soon as possible, with more than 10 clubs interested, said Romano. Loads of people want Kobe on loan. I think he's going to go to Napoli with their injury situation, but they want him sooner rather than later, which is fair. Look, I like Kobe, but let him go on loan. If Kobe doesn't play with Mbeumo, Ahmad and Mazraoui out, if Bruno and Casemiro are still the midfield too, then let Kobe go. Sully said this: Matthias Ligt has been having extra treatment set by the club this week to deal with a minor back issue, described as more so soreness rather than an injury. United are taking precautionary steps, return expected soon if rehab goes well. So I think on De Ligt, it's not a major injury, but you've got Aiden Heaven that will step in as central centre-back. We don't want to take any risks. United are like, if we rush De Ligt back, we could lose him for a couple of months. Whereas if we wait 2 weeks, he could be back for the rest of the season. I think United are like, we just don't want to rush him back. And last but not least, there is some more sources coming out that Manchester United are interested in Edison Castillo. I did a video on him about 2 days ago. Our interest in the young player, our interest in the young midfielder. So that is a name to watch. And if we do get any significant developments on Castillo to Manchester United, guys, I will do a video on that. I know we signed Rosico. I know we signed Sekou Kone. I know we're looking at a lot of young players. So I will let you guys know. But listen, people, that is all your Manchester United news rounded up in 10 minutes. Hopefully we don't lose Mbeumo and Ahmad before the Bournemouth game. We'll have to see if any more updates come up on Dalot, or could this be Dalot's agent making up links to Real Madrid to get him a new contract. You never know. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.